So good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure, Akaba. Ghana is my second home. And interestingly, when I say it's my second home, so I have a stepmom that is from Ghana. And that was a long time again, a long time ago. And it's always a pleasure. I've been to Ghana twice. And I look forward to being in Ghana at any other time. Okay. Thank you, Shasha, for the warm welcome. So today we are going to be looking at a topic very dear to my heart, a topic that I love so much. Okay, it's about networking and social capital. How to tell your story to get you hired. Once again, my name is Dr. Torin Samemehelu, and you will get to know about me in a bit. But whilst I introduce myself, I like to meet everyone on the call. We have just about 6 of us. So basically, your name, what's special about you, and how long have you been in your career? Your name, okay? Your name, what's special about you? What career are you currently in or pursuing? And for how many years have you been in that career? So please, I want that to be in the chat room. Once I'm done with introducing myself, I'm going to be reading that because I love, 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 love to meet people. And whilst, today's topic is about networking and social capital, why don't we start doing the practical in itself? I don't believe in just talk. Why? Because talk is cheap, but doing is expensive and real. So I want us to type in the chat room your name, what's special about you, okay? Your career or the career you want to pursue, and how many years have you been in that? So, Mr. Bernard, you may want to type that in the chat room for me so that everybody can introduce themselves accordingly.
All right.
Thank you so much. Yes, I can see that coming. So, whilst I'm introducing myself, like I mentioned, I will say that yes, I'm a competent and seasoned consultant, a certified leadership coach and mentor. I'm the CEO and lead consultant at Core Skills Transformational Academy Limited. I have my doctorate in education and planning and management from Prowers University in the United States of America. I have my certified business consulting certification expert level at the School of Consulting UK. I have my certificate in public leadership and policy from SPPG, that is the School of Politics, Policy and Governance. I'm the Senior Special Assistant to the Director General at the Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching Nigeria, where I'm also a fellow. I'm a fellow at the International Management Consultant and also the Pan-African Consulting Association. I'm an author of just 28 books. I'm a brand ambassador at ULesson, which happens to be an edtech company here in Nigeria. I'm a mentor of Teach for Nigeria and the MasterCard Foundation. I'm also the training and development lead at Equip Nigeria, and I'm aware that we have Equip Ghana, and it was on that platform that I met my wonderful brother, Mr. Bernard, who is the CEO at Level Up Consulting. I am also a wife and a mother of 2 young, astonishing leaders. I'm a recipient of several awards and a Teach for the SDG Fellow, as well as the African SDG Mentorship Program Fellow. So that's about me in a nutshell, and it's great to be here once again. So I'm going to quickly go to my chart also. So from my chart, I have Millicent. Millicent is an health information officer. Wow, over 15 years. This is beautiful. And then I have Samuel. Samuel, you actually bear the same name with my husband. So who is going to be paying for the name now? Is it him or you? I guess it's you because you are younger than him. As I can see, Samuel has been a copywriter in the past 4 years. Then we have Bernard. Bernard is the business development consultant of over 2 years. Interesting. And then, yes, Esther is the administrative facilitator for Equip Ghana. And it's been a year now. Thank you, Esther. Amazing profile. Yes, thank you. Oh, wow. Emmanuel is a student, a fresh graduate. Fresh graduate of what? I would like to know what is the course of your study, Emmanuel. I would also like to know if you actually want to pursue that career or you're looking at a career transition. That is also very important for me to know. Okay, so that means we have people in the career space, from those of us that are just starting to those of us that are already experts in our fields. And that for me is very, very interesting. All right, good, guys. Let us move. So today I have just 4 assignments, okay? And the first one is to help us understand the importance of networking and social capital in our career growth. Secondly, we're going to be identifying key skills for building meaningful professional relationships. I'm going to be sharing with us on how to craft and tell a compelling personal story to enhance our career and opportunities. And finally, how we can develop strategies to enhance both personal, professional, social capital to increase employability. And that is good. All right, so Emmanuel says that he read business. I don't know what the CIM is, but finance. You hoping to continue with a second degree? Okay, so Emmanuel, which area are you hoping to look at for your second degree? I'm asking all of this because I want to be able to speak to every individual differences, even though this is a group training. Okay, so it's important I know my audience so that I could connect with us as much as possible. All right, then. So let us look at what exactly is networking and social capital. Networking is about making connections, while social capital refers to the resources, information, opportunities, support one gains through those connections. So it is not enough for us to network and just network. We have to understand that within every networking experience, social capital is one of the things that we should focus on giving first and then receiving. A lot of people think that when we say networking, it's about them. No, networking is about others. And it's about when you are able to effectively give, then you can get, to receive back. There's something called the law of reciprocity. And the law of reciprocity simply means that whatever you give into the universe is going to come back to you. It's just a matter of time. All right. So Emmanuel says that he would like to further in the field of finance. Emmanuel, thank you so much, and good to hear that. So social capital, just like we know that capital in the finance world, I'm sure Emmanuel will attest to this, has to do with something you can actually, or you really need to start a business. So when we talk about social capital, we are talking about opportunities, support, information, okay? And all of these things, we actually get to give it through trust, through shared values, and through consistent interactions. So it is not enough for you to network at an event, keep the business cards in your wardrobe, and then that is it. We will get to talk more about that in the course of our conversation. Trust me, you are in for a great ride. Now, when we are talking about key skills of networking, please give me a minute. Let me just get some stuff off my notes. Yes, so as I was saying, we have various skills for networking. The first one is active listening. Somebody says that I think there is a reason why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Okay. And, when you have something in higher proportion, that means that there is a lot that potential that God has put in you to use that thing effectively. So we have 2 ears because he wants us to listen more and speak less. The Bible even itself says that we should be slow to speak, slow to get angry, but quick to hear. So networking is a skill, and one of the very first best ways in which we can use the skill is to listen. Now, there are 3 types of listening. We have what we call the peripheral listening. We have what we call the passive listening, and then we have what is called the active listening. So the peripheral listening is when you try to behave as though you were listening. Now, I'm going to paint a scenario, and I need us to respond in the chat by saying yes or no. Has there been any time when you are on your phone and someone is talking to you, and then the person goes ahead to say, "Are you listening to me?" And then you say yes. But the person is not convinced enough because the person actually feels and know that you aren't listening. So peripheral listening is when you pretend to be listening, but your mind is actually doing something else. Okay. So you want to type in the comment section, has that ever happened to you in any way? Has it ever happened to you, or have you ever done that to someone? Yes or no? Especially with this advent of having phones on our hands and all of that. Please, I want to see that in the chat room. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel says yes. Robert says yes. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel and Robert. Thank you, Millicent. Millicent also says yes. So what happens is when we do this, we are only pretending to be listening. And that is why the person that is talking to us will seem to ask that question from us over and over again. Are you sure you're listening to me? Thank you also, patience. Now, the passive listening is you are on the surface, the person can see you and the person feels, oh yes, this person is actually looking at me and it seems as though this person is listening. But at the end of the day, you are listening only to respond. So type in the chat box, listening to respond, listening to respond, listening to respond. That is passive listening. Listening just for the person to finish speaking so that you can respond to what the person is saying. And that is not really active listening because you are not really listening. You are only listening to just give the person a response. Okay, and then of course we have the active listening, which actually is engaging fully in conversation to understand others' needs and interests, to understand what is spoken and what is not spoken, to understand and to do something about it positively. All right, active listening, entails that you then have the capacity to rephrase what that person has said using your own words. When someone is listening actively to you, their body language, they use some gestures such as they nod their head, they have some gesticulation, and then that is when that people are listening to you actively. So please, I'm emphasizing on this active listening because it's the number one skill for networking. Okay, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be listening to. So if you really, 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 really want to acquire the skill of networking, you must be an active listener. Secondly, is you have to learn what is called emotional intelligence. I know quite of us have heard about emotional intelligence. If you have heard about emotional intelligence, can you type in the chat box EI, 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 EI? I want to be sure if you have heard about the term emotional intelligence. Please, I want to see that. And then, of course, it's just basically being aware of your emotions and those of others so as to foster better connection. It also has to do with being aware of the emotions that you can see, the emotions you can't see. Emotional intelligence has various aspects, such as self-awareness, social skills, decision-making. We have areas such as self-regulation, self-control. We have areas such as self self-control, regulation, self-management, okay? Social skills, quality decision-making skills, all of these are emotional intelligence aspects, and it's very important that we do this. So fantastic. I can see quite a lot of us want to Bernard, Robert, Emmanuel, Patience, Israel. Okay, so that's about 5 of us on the call. You know what emotional intelligence is all about. But like I've just explained it. So when you are networking, you need to be able to read, how the person is feeling, what the person is thinking, so that you can know what to say at the appropriate time, and at all times. Then you have to build rapport. Building rapport means establish common ground and mutual trust to deepen relationships. So one thing I do when I want to connect with people, remember when I was starting this class, I said Akwaba. And most of us are wondering, oh, really? So she can even speak Ghanaian language. That is about, all that I can speak. But hey, I was able to find a common ground. Okay. And I was also able to find a common ground by asking us to introduce ourselves, even whilst I was introducing myself. It's just like that. And I would always advise that when you are networking, don't talk about yourself first. Ask about the person, the other person. Also, what's your name? And what do you do? And interestingly, the first day I was going to meet Mr. Bernard, right? That was how we connected. I asked him, so, as the national coordinator at Equip Ghana, what do you do? And then by the time we spoke, I gave him a book, one of my books, as a gift, and I autographed it. And we realized that, oh yeah, we share a lot in common when it comes to human capital and human capacity development. I was not the only one Mr. Bernard met that evening during the dinner when he came to Nigeria. But here we are, voila, after about a year, okay, which we met, to be precise, last year. That was around May 2023. So another important skill for communication for networking is effective communication. Your ability to be able to speak clearly, confidently, and ensure your message resonates with the audience. So you are not speaking way above the audience, and you are not speaking way below the audience. I intentionally asked about how many years you've been in our various careers because I want to be able to have a feel in the room. And then I realized, oh, wow, we have diverse, diverse when it comes to the ratio of how many years we have spent in our various careers. And that's really interesting. So I know that I will have to, speak to the people that are just starting off in their career. And at the same time, I speak to people in their mid-career experience, as well as some of the veterans we have in the room. Yes, another very important skill for networking is follow-up. You see this follow-up, a lot of us are not so good with it. If you are one person that you know that you have met a lot of people, but you have not followed up, type in the comment section. Follow up, follow up, follow up. I want to see that in the chat room. If you are someone that has met a lot of people, but after the first contact, that was the end, type follow up in the chat. If you are that kind of person, type follow up in the chat. We've met a lot of people at events, different times, but for one reason or the other, that was the beginning and the end of the whole entire networking. So I have been there, and I would say that I am totally out there. But what I then do now is, to make it easy, I have made it a point of duty. Anyone that I meet, especially that I realize that, so it's not everyone that you are expected to follow up with, right? But you meet some people and it just strikes a chord. You just feel that yes, this person, especially for my career development, I can do a lot with this person. I make sure that within the next 24 hours, I reach out to the person. Now, imagine those of us that are married, right? We met our spouses somewhere, somehow. And then we did rigorous follow-up. If that is you, type yes. You met Madam or you met Oga and you were head over heels. It could be love at first sight. It could be love at seventh sight. But hey, you followed up. Type yes. And today you are married. Type yes in the chat room. I know, yes, some of us are single, but I know there's quite a lot of people that are married. So let me know. Let me know who is that person. You met Oga or Madam somewhere, somehow, and you did serious follow-up. And like they say, today is history. Quickly, quickly, quickly. I need one or two people, please, so that I am sure that I am making sense. I am speaking your heart. I am flowing. So, because in as much as we are talking about, networking for career, it also cuts across other aspects of our lives as well. So we move to the second part of this conversation tonight, where we have crafting your personal story. Now, it is important you learn how to craft your personal story so that you can enhance your networking. So what's your personal story? So the first thing is a good personal story has a beginning, where you come from, a middle, your skills and experience, and an end, your goals and aspiration. All right, so I want somebody to volunteer using this format. Raise up your digital hand. I'm not a kind of facilitator that will just be talking all through and not have people engaged. No, I don't do that. So I need a volunteer. If I can't get somebody raise up their digital hands, use the structure, tell us their personal story, I'm going to call on someone, trust me, to do that. Okay, so because I am a facilitator on this call, and whether you like it or not, you are going to facilitate with me. I am yet to see anybody volunteer. If nobody is volunteering, I know some people joined us. So I don't know how to pronounce this name, but I just am attracted to it. So if you have a name that is not common, just now I'm coming for you. M-A-U-D, is it Maud? Maud? Can you unmute your mic and use the structure to tell your personal story? Now, caveats. Nobody is ever wrong in my class. Please, I would like you to unmute your mic. We can allow him to unmute, administrator, and because I noticed that we are all muted, but the person with the name M-A-U-D, I have asked you to unmute. Or I think I'm not given that power to do that. Who is, okay, I'm a co-host, so I should be able to. But Samuel, please help me. You are a co-host as well. And Bernard, you want to help me unmute him. Okay, I can't actually tell him to unmute. Okay, so since I'm finding that a bit difficult, can we use the chat room? Can everybody share their story using the structure? A good story has a beginning, where you come from, a middle, your skills and experience, and an end, your goals and aspirations. So while I'm expecting to see our stories in the chat room, I would go ahead and share my own story. So my name is Dr. Toyin Samemehelu. I come from Lagos, Nigeria, but currently I'm married to a man from the eastern part of Nigeria, which is Enugu State. So I never wanted to be a teacher, right? But then posterity has it that I am from a teaching family, a family where everyone happened to be teachers around me. My grandparents, maternal grandparents, both my grandfather and my grandmom are both educators. My mom is an educator. All my uncles are educators. My elder sister is an educator, and so I had to find myself here. Currently, I have 4 major, very important skills. The first one is teaching, as you can see. The second, which happens to be leadership, mentoring, coaching, as well as administration. For my experience, I have 27 continued upgraded level of experience in these areas of my skills, and I have not stopped learning. Finally, my goals and aspiration is to be a positive catalyst for transformation in Africa through unlocking human potentials, transforming organizations, nations, and communities. So that's my personal story. All right, so what's yours? What's yours? What's yours? What is yours? What is yours? I don't just want to hear only my voice. Bernard, please, can you unmute? I need to hear from you. Bernard,
Hi.
yes. Have you been, is it possible for us to allow someone to unmute?
Yes, I asked her to unmute, but she
He did.
couldn't mute.
Okay, she couldn't do that. Okay, can we hear from Patience? Patience. Please allow Patience to unmute.
Yes, I've allowed her.
Okay, Patience, please. Over to you. Unmute your mic and let's get to hear from you. You know, the beautiful thing about it is that once you are able to do this, you can confidently do this anywhere and it will enhance your networking skills. Patience, can you unmute? Okay, who wants to go ahead? Please raise up your digital hands so that we can unmute your mic. I want someone, because this class is a practical class, it's about crafting your personal story. Okay. Mr. Bernard, do you want to give it a try?
All right. Let me give it a try.
Great.
Okay. Isn't
Okay, so
Israel's
we
hand
have
is up so
Israel.
after Israel?
We have Israel. Israel's hand is raised. Okay, so let's allow Israel.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
All right. So I'm by name Israel Ayeba. Yeah, a son from a family of 4 children, and I'm from Cape Coast, Ghana. I have skills like skills in trading and getting people engaged to achieve a task. And in life, I have some goals and aspirations, of which are as follows: to see people smile, carrying out communal labor and other things that can put people together in the community. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Israel. Esther, please send Israel's number to me. Israel, you have just won a free 30-minute session with me, which costs about 100,000 naira, and that's about roughly 50 times 50 times 10, 50 times 20. That's about 100. What am I saying? And that's about almost what's 50 times 10? Yeah, that's about almost 500. That's like 500 CDs. Okay.
All right.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
congratulations. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So you have the opportunity to ask me any question and find a way to collaborate with me. Congratulations, Israel. So let's continue. Relatability. Tailor your story to connect with your audience experience. So depending on the audience that you are actually speaking with, you need to be able to think through. Please mute everyone, please. Thank you. So tailor your story to connect with your audience experiences. So make sure you are conscious of who your audience are. Authenticity, be genuine. Just like Israel was simply genuine, you know, and I begin to see a lot of things that we can collaborate on. He loves to trade, right? And then he said he has a skill to bring communities together. I love being a part of a community, right? And you never can tell the kind of networking that will take place between myself and Israel. Okay? And then of course, highlighting your unique journey and challenges. You want to be authentic. Okay? So for me, I've had to tell, you know, the fact that I'm from a family that are gifted teachers, right? And has it been a rosy experience? Not at all. Like I said, I never really wanted to be a teacher. But when I eventually realized that I can't escape being a teacher, what did I do? I made sure I started developing myself so much that I can never be a teacher that will be ignored in my generation. So, how then can you leverage your professional networks? The first thing is to use LinkedIn to connect with industry leaders. How many of us are on LinkedIn? If you're on LinkedIn, just type L, L, L. LinkedIn is a social media. LinkedIn is a social media platform, okay, where people connect professionally. So for everyone on this call, sincerely, I believe we should all be on LinkedIn. I tried to stop sharing my screen because I want to see everybody in a gallery way, because this is very, very important. Oh, awesome. Everybody is, okay, not everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Okay. How many of us are on this call? We are 13. And we have just 9 of us on LinkedIn. So that means 4 of us are not on LinkedIn. Interesting. Now, LinkedIn is a very, very powerful social media platform that if you are into a career, whether you are a business person or you are a career person, irrespective of whatever it is that you are in, it is important that you are on LinkedIn, because it is not like Facebook or Instagram, right? Where, you know, it's really, really for social. Yes, people do socialize on LinkedIn too, but sincerely, it is a very, 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 very important platform for being able to connect with people. And I cannot overemphasize how powerful LinkedIn is, right? I cannot overemphasize how powerful it is. So I'm going to be opening my own LinkedIn page now so that we can all see. Okay. In fact, I've not been there today and I have various messages waiting for me. So I'm sure we can all see my screen. So in the last 24 hours, I've had 4 messages, yeah, which I'm not ready to look at now. So I'm going to minimize that. I've had over 222 people visit my profile in the last 24 hours, and I've had 924 expressions. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my profile. And let me tell you, on LinkedIn, you connect with very, very important people. And make sure when you are accepting friend requests on LinkedIn, you are accepting requests of people that you have something familiar with and you can collaborate with. So this is my LinkedIn profile. You can see my cover photo. You can see my professional display picture. Okay, that is what we call the DP. Then you can see my title here. FPMC means Fellow Professional Mentor and Coach. FIMC means Fellow International Management Consultant. FPAC means Fellow Professional Association of Association of Consultants in Africa. CPLC means Certified Public Leadership and Policy Expert. Okay, and you can see here the things that I do. Okay, my contact, if you click here, you'll be able to get it. And currently I have close to 9,000 followers, 8,294, and I have over 5,500 connections. Now, here I have about me. I was able to share in a story-like manner about me. And these are some of my very, very important pictures, which I put at the top part of my profile to, make people see. Now, look at today's event that I'm speaking on is posted here. So if I click here, you will see it's already on my LinkedIn page. Can you see? Can you see this? If you can see it, type yes in the comments. If you can see it, type yes in the comments. So, it's here already. Good, fantastic. So I will not be able to take us very, very deep into, thank you, into LinkedIn because we are not teaching about LinkedIn today. It's not a LinkedIn class. But what I have done is I've done a course for people, young professionals, and even veteran professionals about LinkedIn. And I'm going to be posting it here. It's actually about 100 CDs, but I'm giving it for 50 CDs. When you click on this link, which I have shared in the chat, all you need to do is once you click, you make payment with your card, and then you are able to access the course. And make sure when you access the course, you go to your LinkedIn profile. If it's not looking as beautiful and as solid as my own, make sure you go there, make your payment of 50 CDs in your Ghanaian currency. The platform accepts currency from everywhere in the world, and make sure you be a part of that course. Sincerely, you'll be glad you did. Like I said, we don't have time, so I can't start teaching us about LinkedIn optimization and all of that. So with that, you are also able to read extensively and learn extensively about LinkedIn. But I had to take my time to explain that because, hey, it is a very, very important platform where you can leverage professional networks. Secondly, attend webinars and conferences, workshops to build face-to-face interactions. Okay, you also want to network at events and online communities. For example, I have just networked with Israel this evening, and I've networked with every one of us, but it's in different degrees, okay? So if you still want us to network further, I have an online community where I'll be sharing the link at the end of the program, or you can just go to my Instagram profile, follow me, and then you would see underneath it a link under my profile. Once you click on that link, you will see how to connect with me on various social media platforms, as well as join my free community. In my free community on WhatsApp, what I do is I share a lot of international opportunities that can help you enhance your career. I share free ebooks on leadership, share free ebooks on name it, almost every single day. So it will be great having to connect with us professionally. And then make sure that when you are part of the online community, you are not just a floor member. Give value, share insights, and of course, gain industry-specific knowledge. Now, turning networking into career opportunities. You want to ask for referrals and recommendations. By the way, on that same LinkedIn, if you buy that course, it will show you how you can ask for referrals and recommendations on LinkedIn. Like I said, we don't have all the time, so I can't start teaching us that. But when you buy the course, you will learn all of that. Then leverage social capital in interviews and negotiations. So social capital, like I said, when you are then able to, from your networking, okay, you are then able to have resources, okay. I want to take us back because I don't want us to miss. You are then able to, consistently have interactions with people you have networked with. Okay, let me annotate. All right, because I always like my students to follow my class. So like I said, through consistent interactions, okay, you can then ensure that you use trust and shared values. So for example, Israel and I, we have shared values, and our shared values is that we both love to create communities. Israel loves trading. I love selling. So I think trading and selling also is about the same thing with different words, okay? So you can see that this thing is very, very practical and is not anything that is out of place. All right. So let's continue. Okay, sorry, let me use my annotated eraser to clean this off. Okie dokie, there you go. All right, so having said that, we are rounding up for today because I would like us to ask me a lot of questions when I'm done. I'm sure all our questions are written. So as you step forward in your career journey, remember that success isn't solely about what you know or how well you perform. It is also about the connection you build and the stories you share. Networking isn't a transactional activity. It is about forming relationships, adding value, and creating opportunities for mutual growth. When you invest in your social capital, you are not just opening doors, you are building bridges that lead to lasting success. The relationships you foster today could be the key to unlock your greatest potential tomorrow. Then finally, your network is your net worth. But I would, there's even a school of thought that now says that your net work is even worth much more than your net worth. Because when you invest in relationships, you not just get ahead, but you also grow together. So make sure that you are investing in a relationship that will not just get you ahead. Make sure you find yourself in a community where everyone is growing together. So these are some references for further reading, right? And then that will be all from me this evening. So if you have any question, I want you to write it down. And while writing, you can use the chat box. If you want to raise up your hand, you can raise up your hand. But while saying that, I would like somebody to respond by telling us one key takeaway. What is that thing that I said that struck you the most that you would like to, you would like to continue to learn about, or you would like to share? Please unmute your mic. What is that one thing you are taking away from today's section? All right. Raise up your digital hand and please share with us. Okay. The best thing is when you learn about anything, make sure. Oh, fantastic. I love this. Thank you so much. Okay, let me start from, I think it was, I saw Emmanuel's hand first. Emmanuel, please go ahead and share. Please, let's enable Emmanuel to unmute. Fantastic.
Thank you, Doc. Please, one thing I learned from this presentation is about key skills of networking.
Which
That's the
are
last follow up. We should be
fantastic.
consistent with whoever we meet, because sometimes you can meet somebody, you will talk nice, but at the end we forget everything. And to get to a time we are in need, and this person cannot remember us because it's been a while you communicate with the person. So I think
Absolutely.
follow up is very key in networking.
So you took that away with you. Amazing. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Robert, over to you.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, so one thing that got me has to do with the place of active listening. A lot of times, it even happens to me sometimes when I'm communicating with people, when people are talking with me, I tend to lose focus in one way or the other. But bringing the point back that when we work, anytime we want to network, we have to be active listening. We have to participate fully in listening, and also building rapport is one thing that is key to me that I'm taking home. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You may want to lower your hands so that I don't get to mix it up. So fantastic. Emmanuel spoke about following up and the fact that he has found himself so many times not being able to follow up with people when we meet them. And sincerely, one of the beautiful ways you can follow up is to ask the person, how can I add value to you? Okay. When you do that, what you have done is you have made a deposit into the person's memory and emotional account, and the person can never forget about you. You can also be smarter and just say that, oh, for example, I was at an event, and after speaking, somebody walked up to me and say, Ma, I'm ready to volunteer to do your slides for free. So the slide that I used today, I did not design it. I only sent what I wanted to share. Until tomorrow, every single week, I connect with him. When I have opportunities, I send people to him. And I mean, it's been a mutual one. So you also want to be sensitive and give value so that, I mean, you would be able to also profit from the network. And then, of course, we had Robert shared about the fact that for him, he's going to be very, very intentional about active listening and building rapport. And I totally agree with him, okay, because it's very important that we use this as a tool to help us get to network. Okay, so I can read from the chat. Anita says that I have learned that your network is your net worth. So relationship is very important and help you to sell yourself and add value to yourself as well. Absolutely true. Okay, so that was my first question. So please, if you have question, like I said, type it in the chat. I would like to read and then be able to answer them. The truth is, I'm not a cheap facilitator. I'm a very, very expensive facilitator. So take the best use of me now. It's a network that Mr. Bernard brought me on this platform. So maximize this time, right? Because I still have about 15 minutes to spend with us before we. Okay, so I've also sent in the link to my free WhatsApp community on the chat. All you need to do is to copy and paste that link on your browser and fill in your details. At the end of the form, the Google form, you will then be able to see a WhatsApp link that you use to join my free WhatsApp community. Like I said, it's a community where we share a lot of resources every single day. We share books, international opportunities everywhere about career, scholarships, internships, remote work. A lot of people have gotten a lot of jobs from that network. It's not compulsory, but I think it will be of great benefit to each and every one of us. And remember, like I said, I couldn't take a lot of time to teach us about the LinkedIn and how we can use it and how we can set it up as I mean, me having close to 9,000 professionals in my community is a huge asset. So please, if you're not on LinkedIn, jump on LinkedIn and learn about it. If you are on LinkedIn and you have not optimized your LinkedIn, it's worse than somebody that does not have a LinkedIn. If you have not posted anything there, if you have not introduced yourself there, you are shortchanging yourself. The world now is a global village, and everyone, I repeat, everyone can actually leverage on the internet. Yes, in as much as a lot of people are using the internet for the wrong reasons, a lot of us are also using it for the right reasons. Mr. Bernard and I are also friends on LinkedIn. So please, you want to make sure that you maximize LinkedIn. Okay, that is very important. So while I'm waiting for our other questions, I have another question to ask. How do you think storytelling can help you in your professional networking journey? How do you think that LinkedIn can help you in your professional networking journey? I need somebody to raise up their digital hand to answer that question. How do you think that storytelling, how do you think that way you tell your story will help you in your professional networking? And just before that person answers that question, I will want to ask, what are the 3 main structures that will help you to tell your story effectively for professional networking? Who wants to help? Okay, Bernard, Mr. Bernard, I saw your hand raised the other time. So you may want to take this question. So the question is a 2-in-1. Number 1, I mentioned about 3 things that will make a captivating story, telling your personal story so that you can leverage your professional network. And I also said, how do you think telling your personal story can be of advantage to you? Over to you, Mr. Bernard. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
All right, over to you, sir.
So yes, I think storytelling can really help somebody or help one in his or her career, because people really relate well with stories. So telling your story is one of the way of creating a memory about what you do to other people. And I was reading a book by John Maxwell, and he also mentioned that when you are trying to connect with people, always try to remember their story. So I believe telling is one of the ways to connect with people.
Wow.
Because it serves as a platform to create memory.
That is amazing. So what are the 3 main things that should be part of your telling your personal story? I mentioned you doing when I was facilitating. What are the 3 main?
My network was misbehaving.
Oh,
at
wow.
that time, so I really
okay,
didn't
so
get
who can help out? Emmanuel, over to you. Who can help out? Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Please, where you are from, your skills and experience as to your goals and your goals, please, and aspiration.
Esther, please share my contact with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you've won a free ebook from me. Please, Esther, share my contact with Emmanuel. Once Esther does, I will send you your free ebook. Congratulations. So I also saw Robert's hands up. Robert, I would like to hear from you. What do you have to say? Emmanuel, please, can you have your hands down? Give me a minute, I'll be back.
Yeah, so I was answering the question that Emmanuel answered, but I think my hands was not up on time. Hello, please, can I be heard?
Yes, sir, you can
Yes,
be heard.
loud and clear.
Yeah, so I was answering the question about the 3 parts that
Okay.
Emmanuel
has
yeah.
already
But I
answered.
want,
Okay, you
yes,
want to
I
say
want to add
something?
a question, yes.
Mm.
So you see, with that, we have the structure, the relatability, and also the authenticity. So by that, are they not the three structure or what Emmanuel mentioned that has to do with your name, then your experience and skills and your aspirations and goals. Yeah, so is there three? Yeah, are those are the three? Or we can talk about the structure. In the slide, I saw structure.
Yes.
I saw relatability and also authenticity. So,
yes. So those three is embedded. Okay, is embedded. You want to make sure that when you're telling your story, you're telling them the truth. That is the authenticity. Did you get that?
yes.
Relatability. You want to make sure that, for example, I didn't tell stories that are not related to career when I was mentioning my story. Right? Why? Because I have to tailor my story to connect with this particular audience. Maybe if I am speaking to married women, I will still use the same structure. Are you getting me? But this time around, I'll tell them where I'm coming from. How I met my husband, will be the middle. Are you getting it? Because that's the experience, yes. And then what are my goals and aspirations for my marriage? I would then tell them my goals and aspirations for my marriage, not the goal and aspiration for my career.
Yes.
Did you get it now, Robert? Fantastic.
Yes.
Great question. But I mean, telling that kind of story is not relevant for this audience because people will say, madam, is this what we have come to today? So whilst you use that structure, you want to make sure that it is authentic, it is relatable, and you are able to speak the right thing to the right audience.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. So, another question I have is, what challenges have we faced in building professional relationships? And how did we overcome them? Or how were we not able to overcome them? What are the challenges we have faced in building professional relationships? Does anybody have a story they want to share? I mean, you saw somebody you really wanted to connect to career-wise, but you faced resistance. The person was not willing. The person was like, who is this small boy? Who is this small girl? Or you may even have been the superior person and you're like, please, I don't need all these young people around me. Please, I have a lot of work to do. I don't have the patience to mentor. So it could be either which way. I would like anybody to share their story if we have anybody of such. Robert, over to you.
Yes, so thank you. So I remember in the tertiary final year, I read business administration. So during our week celebration, we invited industry players to come and talk to us, and almost all of them give out their contact details at the end of their presentation for us to connect with them for further deliberations and also join their, look out for them on LinkedIn. But one thing is that, so after taking the contacts, I'm also not very, that type who is not very close to, I don't know how to build that rapport. So upon calling once and twice that, yes, you don't hear from them, I tend to give up, as not checking up because, yes, I don't think, I'm part or they are expecting somebody like that. So that has been my challenge anyway. Yes. And I've not been able to solve that.
So based on the new knowledge you have gained now from the conversation I've had, what do you think you can do better going forward?
Okay, so going forward, one I've learned about the presentation that you just did is that, so for example, at the end of a presentation or maybe after them giving out their contacts, if I find something that I am capable of doing that can help them, for example, volunteering or something which can add value to their life, I can quickly capitalize on that.
You made my day. You made my day. You made my day. Yes, yes, yes. Please, Esther, please let Robert get in touch. I don't know. Is Esther still on this call? But Bernard, please help me take notes. Okay. I'm not sure I can see her again. Please, Robert, you made my day. You made my day. You made my day.
Thank you.
All right. So the final question, and then we call it. All right. Who in your current network can you reach out to today to enhance your social capital? Who in your current career network do you think you can reach out today that can, enhance your social capital, and why? Why did you choose that person? I'd like to know. That's the final question for tonight. Anybody ready to answer my question? I have Anita. I've not heard Anita's voice. I have Patience. I've not heard Patience's voice. I have Millicent. I've not heard Millicent's voice. I have Maud. I've not heard Maud. I have Ayariga. I've not heard Ayariga's voice. I have, okay, so Emmanuel has spoken. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Israel has spoken. Okay, we have two Emmanuels actually. Nati. Then Bernard has spoken, and then Robert just has spoken too. So please, I would appreciate those that have not said anything to say something. But if they don't want to talk, I would like to have someone else that has spoken, that is looking forward to. You can think of a particular person in your network that you want to reach out to, and why do you want to reach out to that person? Making sure you do that this new week. That's going to be our final session, and then I'll be out of your face. It's been a very hectic day for me. I've been teaching and training since 9 a.m. I just had a 1 hour nap before the session tonight. So I think I deserve good rest. So anybody. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you. Please, can we have now,
to you all.
Good evening. The first woman that will build me.
I'm very happy to be. I'm so happy to be part of this program or section. So I'm a young student recently completing pre-university course, and now I'm doing my internship. But then hopefully I got in touch with Mr. Samuel Elijah, and then he has been of great help to me. So at my workplace where I'm doing my internship, we were told to have our personal programs, like maybe a show. So I have the Anita's Forum. And then I had to interview some people. I cast news. I do some graphic designing. I do web development and other things. Yes. So I was asked to interview somebody. And then, my aspect was personal development and career development.
Oh, fantastic.
So I was thinking about who I should invite on my show. And then suddenly it came to my mind that, yes, somebody who was into that field, who was Elijah. So I contacted him, and then he told me that this is how the arrangement is going to be. And then hopefully we'll be having that section very soon.
Amazing.
Yes. So that network has been of great help to me. Thank you.
So you can interview me as well if you would like me to be interviewed.
Really?
Yes.
I'll be very happy.
So I reward my students, right? So if you don't talk in my class, you will lose. You will lose if you don't talk in my class. That's just it. Mr. Bernard, I'm also going to be sending you an ebook. So just let me know. Please give me another 2 weeks. All right?
Okay,
and I'll be interviewed. So what I'm going to do here is, let me just drop my number. So you have to add +234, right? Because that's the Nigerian code. So that's my personal number. Then I will direct you to my PA so that she can schedule you so that we can have the time. So, but for those, so just reach out to me and just say, I'm so and so. I was at the career program. You promised to send me.
Thank you very much.
You promised that I could interview you. You promised me 30 minutes free call. Just tell me what I promised you. And by the grace of God, I will fulfill my promise. So, having said that, thank you so much. I was given an hour, 30 minutes thereabout. And I think I've made the best use of the time. Thank you so much for having me. You're welcome, Anita. Over to you, Mr. Bernard. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was very, very inspiring. That was a great lesson for us. So, like I said earlier, we anticipated that we would learn, unlearn, and relearn. And indeed, we've learned, we've unlearned, and we've relearned. Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate. So yes, would want one of us to give a vote of thanks. So who would volunteer to do that? To appreciate Doctor tonight for giving us her precious time. She's an expensive facilitator.
Very expensive. Very, very expensive. Yes.
Covered 1 hour, 30 minutes. We should thank God. So anyone to give a vote of thanks, then a closing prayer. Anyone? I wouldn't want to mention names. Anyone? Okay, Anita.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity, Mr. Bernard. So on behalf of everybody, we want to say a very big thank you to our very own Dr. Toyin Sam Emehulu. Sorry if I didn't pronounce the name well.
You tried.
Yeah, we are so grateful for sharing part of you to us.
Yeah.
We thank you very much for this expertise, like you giving us more of you and giving us opportunity. We wouldn't have gotten this opportunity anywhere. And then you've granted it to us without paying anything. And we are saying thank you very much. God really bless you.
Amen.
And increase your cost. Yeah.
Amen.
We also say a very big thank you to all our organizers, Mr. Bernard, Mr. Emmanuel, and everybody. We say a very big thank you. And to all the people here, like all the facilitators here too, we want to say thank you very much for making it a point to come and learn. Some people heard of this, but then they couldn't come due to some reasons. Some people didn't want to come because they didn't know what they would be getting from this. But we have come to learn, and we've taken something which would be part of us and which would add value to us. So we want to say thank you to everybody. God richly bless us, and then God increase us to have more insight and then to add values to ourselves and other people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Great. That was great. So thank you very much once again, Dr. Toyin Sam Emehulu. Thank you so much. Want to share a word of prayer? Then we call it a day. Our next session will be today's week, same time. We'll once again have a very wonderful facilitator to take us through. So